dear students, this is Mrs. Shayma Gharib and today's lesson about short division. Before we start, I would like to give a very special thanks to Engineer Abir Sabri for her great effort in creating this PowerPoint. Let's start. Some rules before you watch any video. You have to sit in a quiet place. You should have your pen and a piece of paper to take notes and to solve questions. You should pause the video after each question, then you try to answer on your own. Then you play the video to check your answer and to understand the question in case you get a wrong answer. Are you ready? Let's start. Simple division. Let's start by revising a very simple division sentences and let's find the quotient in each one. 30 divided by 2. So what is the number when I multiply it by 2? It gives me 30. Or how many 2's are there in 30? Or half the 30? The answer is 15. 36 divided by 3, which means how many 3's are there in the 36? Or what number, when I multiply it by 3, it gives me 36. So it's 3 times 12. So the answer will be 12, or the quotient for this division sentence will be 12. 45 divided by 5. How many 5's are there in the 45? You can keep counting by 5 until you reach the 45. Then find how many 5's are there in the 45, which is 9. 9 times 5 gives 45. Now let's find the quotient, but this time our answer will have remainder. 35 divided by 4. 35 is an odd number, which means when I divide it by 4, there will be remainder in the quotient. How many 4's are there in the 35? We are going to count on by 4 until we reach the closest multiple of 4 to the 35, which is number 32. So how many 4's in the 32, or how many 4's in the 35? It is 4 times 8, and there will be remainder. 4 times 8 equals, as we said, 32, and this is 35. So the remainder is the difference between the 32 and the 35, which is 3. So our answer will be 8 remainder 3. Let's see next example. 40 divided by 6. How many 6's are there in the 40? Let's count on by 6. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, then 42. So I will stop at the 36, which is the closest multiple of 6 to the 40. So which means how many 6's are there in the 40? There are 6 6's, which makes number 36. So the remainder will be 4. So the answer, or the quotient, will be 6 remainder 4. 27 divided by 2. How many 2's are there in the 27? Or half the 27? Half the 27 is 13.5, or 13 and half. So how many 2's are there in the 27? There are 13 2's, and the remainder is, what do you think? The remainder will be 1, because 2 times 13 equals 26. And the difference between the 26 and the 27 is 1, which is the remainder. Okay, Now we revised how we find the quotient within the times table and if there is a remainder. Now let's start our lesson about short division. Let's see. If I have this example, it's division by 2. I choose to divide by 2 at the beginning to make the numbers more easier. Of course, we can just find the half of the 53, but I want to show you this method and how to use the short division to get the quotient. First, let's revise this number, or the first number in any division sentence is called the dividend, and this one is called the divisor. So now first we are going to draw the division sign of the short division. Then we are going to write the dividend under the division sign. So 53 divided by 2. I will put the 2, or I will write the 2 on the left side of the division sign. Is this clear? So this is how we write the division sentence. Then what is the first step? I will start by the first digit, which has the biggest value in the number. This is number 53. So this number, or this digit, the 5, has the biggest value. So I will start with it. This 5, I will divide it by the 2. 5 divided by 2, which means how many 2's are there in the 5? Is this clear? 5 divided by 2. I always divide by the 2. So 5 divided by 2 means how many 2's are there in the 5. So the answer here will have remainder. 5 divided by 2 equals 2, remainder 1. I will put the 2 here, up here in the answer place. And where to put the remainder? I will put the remainder just next to this 5 on the right. I will put it here between the 5 and the 3. Okay, so now after that I will start again, but this time I will take the remainder with the next digit, which is the 3. 1 and 3, which means 13, number 13. I will deal with it as it is number 13. Now I will start to do the division one more time. 13 divided by 2, which means how many 2's are there in the 13? Equals, yes, 6, remainder 1. Do I have any digits after this 3 to put the remainder? No, so the remainder will be written as a final answer up. So it will be 6, remainder 1. Which means the final answer is 26, remainder 1. 26, remainder 1. Now we are going to do one more example to make the short division more clear to you. I have a 3-digit number, 674 divided by 3. First, I'm going to write the division sign. Then I will put, or I will write 674 under the division sign. Then I will write the divisor on the left side here. I will start with the biggest value, which is the digit 6, and I will do the division. 6 divided by 3, which means how many 3's are there in the 6? How many 3's are there in the 6? Only 2 3's. Are there any remainder? No. So I will just write the 2 with no remainder. Then what is the next step? I will move to the next digit, which is the 7. I will do exactly the same. 7 divided by 3, which means how many 3's are there in the 7? So there are 2 3's, but this time there will be a remainder. So the answer will be 2 remainder 1. So I will write the 2 up here and the remainder between the 7 and the next digit, which is the 4. What is the next step? Do you remember? I will move to the next digit, but this time it has a remainder. So I will deal with it as number 14. So I will start to do the division one more time. 14 divided by 3, which means how many 3's are there in 14? Yes, there are 4 3's. Remainder, what do you think? Yes, remainder 2. As long as I don't have any more digits to the right, the remainder will be in my final answer. Is this clear? More examples on this method. 582 divided by 5. First, I will write the division sign. I will write the number under the division sign, 582. Then I will write the divisor to the left side. I will start digit by digit, starting from the digit that has the biggest value, which is the 5. 5 divided by 5. How many 5's are there in 5? Only 1. Is there any remainder? No. So I will move to the next digit, which is the 8. And I will do the division. 8 divided by 5, which means how many 5's are there in 8? Only 1 5, and there will be a remainder of 3. Where to put the remainder? Between the 8 and the 2, or next to the 8 on the right side. So the answer will be 1, remainder 3. I put the answer here and the remainder between the 2 digits. After I finish, I will move to the next digit. But this time it has a remainder, so I will read it as 32. Then I will do the division normally. 32 divided by 5. How many 5's are there in the 32? 6 5's, which is number 30, which means the remainder will be 2. So our answer will be 6, remainder 2. Do I have any more digits? No, so I will write the 6 up here. And where to write the remainder? I will write it up in the final answer. Is this clear? So our quotient here for this will be 116, remainder 2. Is this clear so far? Now, I want you to think of this example and try to do it by your own. Then, play the video and watch the steps. 4012 divided by 4. I will follow the same steps exactly. I will write the division sign, then I will write the 4012 under the division sign and the 4 on the left side. The first digit is 4. 4 divided by 4 equals 1. How many 4's are there in the 4? Only 1 4, which means the remainder is 0 with no remainder. So as long as I don't have any remainder, I will move to the next digit, which is the 0. 0 divided by 4. What does this mean? How many 4's are there in the 0? Does the 0 have any 4's? No, it's 0. So the answer will be 0. There is no 4's in the 0. Okay, now what next? I will do the same with the next digit. 1 divided by 4, which means how many 4's are there in the 1? How many 4's are there in the 1? Does the 1 have any 4s? Of course not, because the 4 is greater than the 1. So the answer will be also 0. No 4s in the 1. But this time there will be remainder, which is the 1 itself. It's still there. So I will consider the 1 as remainder, and I will put it next to this 1 and beside the 2 here. Then I will move to the next step. Now I have number 12. 12 divided by 4. How many 4s are there in the 12? Just 3 with no remainder. So the answer will be, yes, 1003. Is this clear? Let's see one more example. I will do exactly the same, the division sign, the dividend under the division sign, and the divisor on the left side. The first digit is 3. So I will start by dividing 3 by 4. 3 divided by 4, which means how many 4s are there in the 3? Are there any 4s in the 3? Of course, no. Why? Because the 4 is greater than 3. So there is 0 4s in the 3. Do we have remainder? Yes, of course. The 3 is still with us. I didn't take any 4s from the 3 yet. So I will consider this 3 as a remainder, and I will put it here as we used to do. Is this clear? Now I will move to the next digit. But this digit has a remainder, which is number 3. So now I have number 37. I will start to do the division as we used to do. 37 divided by 4, which means how many 4s are there in 37? Which is number? Yes, 9. There are 9 4s in the 37. 9 times 4 gives 36, which means I will be having a remainder of 1. So the answer will be 9, remainder 1. Where to put the 1? Next to the 7 and next to the 0 here. So I will put the remainder up here. Then I will start to do the division one more time. I have number, yes, 10. So now 10 divided by 4, which means how many 4s are there in the 10? There are 2 4s in the 10, and there is a remainder of 2. So the answer will be 2, remainder 2. I don't have any more digits, so I will write the remainder up in the answer. So final answer will be 2, remainder 2. So the quotient for this sentence will be 92, remainder 2. Now, one more example. 7,205 divided by 8. Let's start writing the division sign. 7,205 under the division sign. The 8 on the left side. I will start by dividing the first digit, which has the biggest value. 7 divided by 8, which means how many 8s are there in the 7? The 8 is greater than the 7, which means no 8s in the 7. So I will write 0, but here there will be a remainder of 7 because I didn't use the 7 yet. So I will put it here next to the 2, and I will start to do the division one more time. Now I have the number 72 divided by 8, which means how many 8s are there in the 72? Which is 9 8s. And there will be no remainder. 9 times 8 equals 72. Then I will go to the next digit, which is the 0. 0 divided by 8. How many 8s are there in the 0? No 8s in the 0, so I will put 0. 0 8s in the 0. Now I will move to the next digit, which is the 5. 5 divided by 8, which means how many 8s are there in the 5? Will be 0 8s in the 5 because the 8 is greater than the 5. Do we have any remainder? Yes, I didn't use the 5 yet, so it will be the remainder I will write. So the final answer will be 900, remainder 5. Is this clear? Now, are you ready for this question? In this question, it has the division sign and the numbers with missing digits. And we need to find out what are these missing digits. First, I will deal with this kind of problems. Same steps exactly. I will start by the first digit, which is the missing one here. There is a digit that is divided by 7 and the answer is 1. Do I have any remainder here between these two? No, which means it is 7 because 7 divided by 7 equals 1. Is this clear? Now I will move to the next digit. How can I get this one here? 8 divided by 7, which means how many 7s are there in the 8? There is only one 7 and there will be remainder 1, which is this one here. Now I will go to the last digit, but this time it will be number 14. This one and the 4 together, number 14. 14 divided by 7 equals, yes, 2. How many 7s are there in the 14? 2. Let's see one more example. I also have 3 missing digits. The first digit here is missing. Let's do it together. A number divided by 9 equals 0, which means this number is smaller than the 9. Okay, is this point clear? This digit here must be smaller than the 9. And look at this remainder. It's 2, which means this number must be 2. So when I do the division, 2 divided by 9, how many 9s are there in the 2? There is 0 9s, and the 2 will stay as it is as a remainder. Is this point clear? Now I will move to the next digit, which is the 7, but the 7 has a remainder of 2 here, which means this number is 27. 27 divided by 9 means how many 9s are there in the 27? 3 9s with no remainder. Now let's go to the last digit. What number, when I divide it by 9, it gives me 1 with no remainder? Of course, it's 9. So 9 divided by 9, how many 9s are there in the 9? There is only 1 9 with no remainder. Is this example clear? Now, are you ready for questions time? 512 divided by 7. I will do exactly the same. 512 under the division sign and the 7 on the left side. I will start by the first digit, which is the 5. 5 divided by 7, which means how many 7s are there in the 5? Of course, 0 7s. No 7s in the 5. But the 5 still as it is, I didn't take any 7s from it yet. so it will be my remainder. So I will put it on the right side here before the 1. Then I will move to the next step and the next digit, which is 1, and it has a remainder of 5 is written here up to it. So the number will be 51. 51 divided by 7. How many 7s are there in 51? There are 7 7s, which makes number 49. So there will be 7 7s in the 51 with remainder 2. So the answer will be 7 remainder 2. Now I will move to the next digit. The number I have is 22. 22 divided by 7. How many 7s are there in the 22? 3 7s equals 21. So it will be 3 remainder 1. Do I have any more digits after the 2 to put the remainder? No. So I will write the remainder up. So it will be 3 remainder 1. So the quotient of 512 divided by 7 will be 73 remainder 1. Is this clear? Next example. 4536 divided by 6. I will follow same steps exactly. 4536 divided by 6. Let's check how many 6 are there in each digit. I will start by the first digit here, which is a 4, and I will divide the 4 by 6. 4 divided by 6 means how many 6s are there in the 4? No 6s in the 4, and the 4 still as it is, as a remainder. So it will be written up here. Now I will move to the next digit, 5, but this number will be 45. So 45 divided by 6, how many 6s are there in the 45? Yes, 7 6s, because 7 times 6 is 42. So, and this is 45. So it will be 7 remainder. Yes, remainder 3. Now I will move to the next digit. The number now is 33. 33 divided by 6, which means how many 6s are there in the 33? 5 6s, which equals 30, and there will be remainder 3. So it will be 5 remainder 3, and I will write the remainder here. Now I will move to the next digit. 36 divided by 6. How many 6s are there in the 36? Of course, 6 6s. So the final answer will be 756. In this example, I have a missing number divided by 2, and the answer is 4. 4 2s equals 8. So if I divided 8 by 2, the answer will be 4 with no remainder. But here I have a remainder of 1, which means this number is 1 more than the 8, which is number 9. So 9 divided by 2 equals 4, remainder 1. Now I will move to the next number, which is number 18. 18 divided by 2, how many 2s are there in the 18? 9 with no remainder. And the last digit, 4 divided by 2 equals 2. Next example. A missing digit divided by 5 equals 0, which means this digit is smaller than the 5. And the remainder here is 3, which means this digit here must be digit 3. So when I divide 3 by 5, the remainder will be 3 and the answer will be 0 because there is no 5s in the 3. Now let's look at the second digit with a remainder of 3. So it's number 37. 37 divided by 5. How many 5s are there in the 37? 7 5s. 7 5s equals 35, which means there will be remainder 2. So I will write the 7 up and the remainder next to this 7 here. So 37 divided by 5 equals 7, remainder 2. Now I have a number. When I divide it by 5, it will give me 5 without remainder. So this number is 20 with a missing digit. It could be 20 what? 20 what divided by 5 gives 5. 5 times 5 gives 25. So this number must be 25, which means the missing digit here is 5. Is this clear? This is the end of our lesson today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have any question, please feel free to leave a comment and I will answer you as soon as possible. See you next video, and please remember that your feedback is highly appreciated. Thank you very much and see you soon.